Morning. Sorry, got a frog in my throat. Morning, welcome to my channel. If you're brand new, welcome, and I appreciate you joining me. If you've been here before, I also want to welcome you, and I appreciate you joining me. Now, when we left yesterday, I'd done this part of the file folder. So what I did was I added another piece of cereal box on and covered the edges in masking tape, because obviously I haven't got any gesso with me. I've had a look around the villa to see if there's any pots of paint, because you can use emulsion and things like that, but there's nothing like that round. So what I decided to do was I covered it. I brought some old book pages with me. Normally, as I say, I would have covered that with gesso and then covered it. So what I did was I covered it with an old book page, and I managed to get hold of some napkins sorry, in the local supermarket, and they're quite pretty, and sort of like they're in the reams of, because although this is separate from my spring journal, I think I want it to sit in with my spring journal. I'm talking about my spring journal. What I've done is I have done the signatures for these. So these edges need cut off. So these are my papers. That's one of my ones that we did. And I will do the backs of these. Orange dyed papers. Again, I did bring some coffee dyed papers with me. I thought I hadn't. Tea dyed envelope, orange dyed papers, coffee dyed paper, and that's an envelope that I was messing about with at home, and I did some watercolouring. Again, if I had gesso, I maybe would mute that a little bit, but I'll find some way of doing that. So there's 9 sheets, which is 18 pages. The other signature is very similar. I think I prefer that one to the other one. That was the one that I did on the back of that. Coffee dyed, tea dyed envelope. This is avocado. I brought 2 sheets of avocado dyed, so it's got like a pinky tinge. Again, the sheets are similar. It's 2 signatures I'm going to have in my journal, and I quite like that. So normally what I do is I cut them off, but I think I might decorate that somehow and make a tuck spot, because I quite like that. I like it against that, and I like it with that. That one hasn't got an envelope inside. And I did make the spine smaller. I made it, I think it was 1.5 inches. Yep, 1.5 inches. And I just creased down that, and I put, that needs re-sticking, and that just goes over the crease. See, that's the only thing with cereal boxes, is because they've got a shiny side, so I will need to go over that with Fabri-Tac. And that will just strengthen that, and it'll stop it bending. If it bends, it bends. But that is the size of my journal that I'll be doing. Obviously, when you look at these, they are too big, so they need cutting down. This is, now I did tell you yesterday, the cover is 8 by 5.5. So the pages will be 7.5 by 5. So I will cut them down. So enough about that. So this is my file folder. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to carry on covering these with book pages. Now the book pages I have cut down slightly. I didn't fully cut it down on that. I stuck it on and then cut it down. So I'm just using the Uhu stick or yoo-hoo stick, or whatever you want to call it. I've run out of my little one. That's one thing I did bring, was plenty of these with me, but they do have plenty here in Cyprus, so I won't be without them. And this is just an old book from the 1930s. It's called Behold Thy Daughter. Now there is some gluey bits there, but never mind. You can't always direct the glue where you want it when you're using a glue stick. I'll try not to go too near the edges. And I always put plenty on, especially with it being, you know, a sort of like a cereal box. It's got a glossy, not too glossy, but it has got the outside is slightly glossy. Right, just let me, and I'll just rub this. If I get any of the ink that I've been using on here, it doesn't matter. But one of the reasons, as I said yesterday, for using masking tape, it's because it is easy to ink. And then we'll do the inside. I was thinking of doing a different paper inside, but I can still go over it. I can still use another paper. It's just that I decided to use these book pages. It'll be nice when I go when I go home. All these like papers and everything that I've brought with me will all be part of a journal or a file folder, or hopefully it'll be easier to pack. Although I have got a couple of A4 plastic boxes that everything came in, packed throughout my case. I'll use that one, there's more writing on that. I managed to get a different napkin as well, and it's white with like a purple. I'm normally good with plants, but I just can't think what it is. I've seen it. I'll show you it in a minute if I can find it, and then you might be able to tell me. It might be an allium. Yeah, that's it. Oh no, it's an agapanthus. It tells you. That's quite cool, actually. But yeah, I've got some of these in the garden. Well, every day's a school day. You learn something every day. You're never too old to learn. I'll never put any masking tape on that little edge there, but never mind. And we'll fit that in there. Normally I use a glue spreader, which is usually a coffee card or an old credit card or a gift card. They're quite handy, and you can use the edges if you cut the corners to make sure that you use them as templates for your tags. So that's that. So it's feeling a little bit better now. So what I want to do is I want to ink the edges. I'm just going to put my top on the glue because it is quite warm here. And the masking tape takes on the ink quite well. And if you can see little bits of the cereal box behind, you can't really see that it's a cereal box. And that's a bit messy, but hey-ho, it will be covered. So we've got that one, and we'll do this one. So it's like a tri-folder that I'm making, a file folder, so that you can, and I just want it full of pockets, flaps, things for putting things in. I have got some fussy cut flowers, so I think I will use some fussy cut flowers. I thought I brought some birds and that with me. I've got a few, but not a lot. So that's that, and that keeps lifting up. So that needs, what I will do is once it's dry, I usually go over it with a nail file and just take off the edges, and that just takes off anything that's lifting up. We'll do this one. And what I will do is I will put some napkins down. I'll decoupage it with some napkins. I'm not sure if I'm going to do it all like that, because I do want, I've got some pink monarch papers. I quite like her papers, they're lovely. I think I brought the grungy set with me in another set, but I can't remember what it's called. That's terrible. But what I will do is I will link her Etsy shop at the bottom of this video. Put my ink away. So that's that one. So that's it. Basic. Looks a lot better than what it did as cereal box covered in masking tape. Now, because I haven't got a lot of give here, I won't be putting anything bulky in these. What I wanted was just like a little flip, like a pocket, and then like a folder to come over, and I'm thinking of using some coffee dyed paper on that. So what I'm going to do is I am going to do this with some decoupage, and I have a little bit left from the one that I used on the front. It's quite pretty, but I don't know whether I want to do it all, so I'm going to rip some out. I know you can do this with water. It probably is easier to do it with water. You just draw around it with your brush. So if we put that there. Hi. Sorry about that, my husband rang. Right, so while I was listening to my husband, I've ripped out the little flowers, and that's how I'm going to put them on the book page. Now, because I don't have any glue that I would normally use, I usually use either gel medium or watered down Mod Podge. I'm using Oohoo, and it will get a little bit sticky because I can't put this on the back of the napkin, because it would just rip when I was trying to pick it up. So that one's not glued there. And I've just had a wee conversation with my daughter as well, because she's just had a major operation and she's feeling okay. Just trying to cope with the pain. It's not nice when one of your children has had an operation or something. I mean, it wasn't life-threatening, but it's still worrying. But I've spoke to her and she's doing fine, so I'm feeling happy about that. And then I'm going to be speaking to my other daughter. Well, she's my stepdaughter, but she's still my daughter. She's just had a little baby and he's a little bit preemie. It was 6 weeks. So she's got a couple of concerns. He's got little jerky movements and they've been back to the hospital, and the hospital not sure whether it's normal, and I think it's normal. I mean, he was 6 weeks early, so his little body's working a lot harder than a baby born normal term. So he's just trying to get used to life outside just a little bit early. But he's alert and he's lovely. I can't wait to have a wee cuddle of him. I'll lift that one up. Stick that one back down. Right. We'll try this. Oh, don't rub too hard because you will rub it out. I'm not too concerned about any wrinkles or anything. It just helps with the look of the vintage style. If you are concerned, if you wait till it dries and then just take a fine emery board, you know, if you don't like to feel the wrinkles, just take a fine emery board over the top and it'll just take out those. And even if it takes a bit of the, you know, the picture off. So there, so I'm quite pleased with that. So that's the front. That's the, well, the next page, but it is the back. I'm going to leave that because I'm not sure. I think I'm going to put a pocket on there. As I say, I'm going to put a pocket here with a flap down, and I'm thinking of putting like another tiny flap on these, and then I will decorate them. So thank you for joining me. Please let me know what you're doing. Are you doing a file folder? Have you done them before? Do you like decoupaging with napkins? That's sometimes when I go shopping, that's the first thing I look for when I'm down that bit. And my husband keeps saying to me, you're supposed to be looking for food, not crafting stuff. How many of us do it? Right, okay. So thank you for joining me. If you would like to see more of this, please subscribe, and if you hit the bell, you'll get a notification every time I upload a video. What I'm trying to do is upload a video every other day. So we will go through this, but the next video will be the day after tomorrow. And what I am going to do is the next video will be on my spring journal. I'm going to start cutting the ephemera out and start putting some of that in. I will come back and I'll show you where I've decorated the other sides of the digital papers. I do intend to make some more stencils with the serial liners. I'm going to try and make myself a nice fern leaf. I'll let you know how I get on with that. So thank you once again. Bye.